Hello everyone, welcome to PBird channel. This channel goal is to create a best learning place in cybersecurity domain. If you are planning to start a career in cybersecurity, then you are in the right place. I regularly post cybersecurity related content video. Please subscribe and press the bell button to get the notification when I post video. In this video, we are going to discuss about a famous vulnerability Log4j. If you are new to this channel, please watch my other cybersecurity video content. We're going to talk about introduction to the Log4j, what is Log4j and what is the impact, and I'll show you a demo how attackers are gaining the remote execution code using this Log4j vulnerability, and finally we will end the session with mitigation plan. What is Log4j vulnerability? So when user is actually accessing this application, right? So it maybe the depends upon the thing. So might be it need a date. So the application will need a date, location, or it need a other details like profile details, path of file. So this is a multiple attributes will be there. And this is the thing. So every time whenever the application needed, it need to access it, right? So this need to access, this need to access, this that. So it's a become a complicated one. So again, it is and so what they do is the developers they came with a concept called LDAP server. LDAP stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So it is an open source cross-platform protocol. It's used for a directory service authentication. So what this will do is instead of this application communicating with multiple attributes, save the thing. So what will this will do is this LDAP will communicate with other things and it will give the information. So if application needed date and time, it will get the details. So this is how it provides a communication application used to with each of the directory services. So this is all directory services. Each will communicate and gives the information like date, user profiles, passwords, whatever things, right? So this way. So how this is actually achieved is using JNTI services. Okay. So this is Java naming and directory interface. Okay. So this is what this is the NS lookup. So what whenever this is information, this is will there and it will connect to the Java and it get the information. Okay. So this is how it works on it. So you can see that Java have a various lookups. So this is actually provide the attribute places where it exactly it is located and where to get the details. So this will be like context map and lookup, data lookup, Docker if they have Docker, environment related lookups, event if you need a event logs kind of things, event lookups will be there. So Java, same thing, all the lookups. So this is the vulnerability JNT lookups. So what this is actually do is it looks for the same thing. So in case if you set this to as true value with true, right? So this is what do will this is again using this JDNI vulnerability. So JDN actually they are using as a LDAP. So as I said, right? So every information will look the entry and it will goes to the LDAP attributes and get from there. Using this vulnerabilities, they have three CV numbers. So Log4j, so one is CV number, so CV2021. So basically CV then here will be there when it is actually finded and the series of it is 45105 and 13 CV numbers are have been identified. So this is 45046 and CV2012144228. So in this Log4j, there are three CV vulnerabilities they have identified it, and it is a very critical vulnerability they have identified it. So let's see what is this Log4j vulnerability impacts. So CV number 2021450446, it will help us to get the remote code execution. CVU 44228 remote code, same thing. That is also give me a remote execution. And the 45105, it is a stack overflow buffer error. It will keep error and seems like it is a DOS attack. So that applications will not be available. So let's go deeply and see how this is actually this log4j is uh, uh, working on it. So attacker, this is the attacker. Okay. So this guy, what will do is he will insert HTTP malicious HTTP request. Okay. So in this request, he just putting a JDN lookup, JDI lookup. But so in this request, HTTP request, he will look. This is the what he just had a header field, and it will just making his just the server to communicate it. Okay. So what this will sting actually using the JDL, right? So this log actually there is a log 4G will be there. Okay. So this using this string, this string will be passing to the LDAP. So the machine will not know what is actually this is user is. So we should what is actually thing is it's this this ADI and a lookup is there, right? JDL1. So what the string is actually thing. So it will go to logs and logs 4G will trigger it to the thing will be passed it and it will query the LDAP. So LDAP will what again it looks for the data. So basically, this guy is injecting it in a reverse shell also. He just putting in a reverse shell. So remote code execution he will do it. So basically, he will be injecting a reverse shell. So log4j will think that is a lookup and it will pass that query to the LDAP. And LDAP will, since it is a malicious L thing, right? Query, right? Payload. So this will give a remote access to the attacker. So this will have a directory information, other confidential data, and everything. So this will give a so sir, basically I'm getting a reversal access of it. So quickly we will see the log4j vulnerability demo. So welcome to log4j vulnerability demonstration. In this demonstration, I'm just going to show how the real hacker using this vulnerability, gaining the remote code execution and stealing the data or they doing for other purpose. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to use a two virtual machine. One is Kali Linux and one is Ubuntu server. Ubuntu server is actually acting as a web server and web application is running with the help of Docker. So Kali Linux IP address is 172.16.0.11 and the server IP is 172.16.0.17. It's actually running in the same network's subnet mask and same network segmentation. So as I said, it is running a web application and I able to access the same web application from my Kali Linux as well. So all I need to do is to run a payload so that I can gain the remote code execution SQL script and it will help me to get the access of this chain. So to do that, before do that, I need to open a netcat and ensure this is the port number is actually opened. So the port is actually listening so that if the once the malicious payload is I ran it right, so the machine will goes here and it will gain me the connectivity back so that I can gain the access of this web server on my Kali Linux. So yeah, so let me open the web application. So now let me execute the payload. So as I said, Jade, this is the AI and DH are vulnerable. So using this vulnerability only, this log4j is actually gaining this one. So LDAP, it will connect with my, it will LDAP and, okay. So let me run the payload. So, ah, I have successfully connected with the web server. Then I can run anything and get a Metaflash shell. So yeah, I can create a user, I can shut down anything, and I can do anything on here. So this is a log PHE vulnerability. Using the vulnerability, I can gain the remote access of it. So I hope you guys liked the demo. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo. So for what is the mitigation plan to how we can risk? So as per the Apache, so just upgrade the log4j version to 2.3.4 if you are in a Java 6 using it. If you are in a Java 7 version, you have to upgrade it to your log4j server 2 version to 2.12.3. If you are using a Java 8 or later, your log4j version should be 2.17.0. And there are security patches has been rolled out from the companies manufacturing it, so please update it. So you can do one more thing is also, so 10 micro is actually providing the vulnerability log4j tester. So what you can do is you can put your web application and see whether it is passing it or whatever the vulnerability is there or it is there. According to the, you can take a measure on it. Or if you have any patch management in your organization, you can run the patch and see whether you having any PV numbers are identified it, and all the servers are patched to date, up to date. And more precautions. What you can do is you can refer the logs, new uh, new usernames has been created or any reverse shells port numbers has been opened on it. So you can do a detailed investigations on securities in case if you find the vulnerabilities on your server as a proactively. So you can do all these things and all. Thank you all watching this video. I hope you guys like this video and helpful. Don't forget to give like to this video and please comment your feedback and experience. Share this video with your and this channel with your friends and colleagues. Stay tuned for more cybersecurity videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you soon with another video. Bye. Take care.